Yes, people, how we doing? Great to see you all back for another week. How are we all? You okay? Hope you all had a nice weekend and all that jazz. We're back for another big week of streams, aren't we? Yes, we are. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. And yeah, obviously a lot to look at. We had a steep Bitcoin drop over the weekend. Just now, 2 minutes ago, MicroStrategy has announced, Strategy has announced that they've acquired a small amount of Bitcoin by their estimates. You know, for the average person, it's obviously a huge amount, but by their purchases, it's a small amount. 245 Bitcoin at 105, nearly 106k, which takes the total to spending nearly $42 billion. And that average entry keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Up to nearly 71k average entry now. So yeah, there we go. Strategy adding more. Afternoon, Loki. How you doing, mate? Anyone else that's joined, please do get involved in the chat. But yes, we have had strategy buy more, and it's pretty crazy, isn't it, to think that strategy have been buying for 5 years now. They started. I think they made the first Bitcoin purchase, wasn't it, in like August 2020, and their average entry is nearly 71k. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? But they're currently holding nearly 600,000 Bitcoin. So there we go. But yes, do make sure you get involved. Get your comments in. If you have joined us, welcome. Thank you for joining. And yeah, we will be placing some nice trades today as well. We're definitely going to be taking a trade based on the poll. So going into US Open, we will have a trade on for the poll. We'll go with whatever direction you guys think. Currently, funding is in the negative slightly. And obviously, Bitcoin had the steep drop down. And we've recovered, obviously, right to the origin of selling. Near enough. So where do we go from here is the question. Where do we go from here? But yeah, we'll take a look at that more in depth now. But yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Those of you that have joined, make sure you do drop a like and get involved. Let's get involved, everyone. I'm just going to go and retweet something. I won't be a second. Hang on. But yeah, let me know what you got up to over the weekend. Did anyone do much? What was you up to? Let me know. Let's do that. Okay, right. Go back to the screen and let's have a look at this Bitcoin drop. Loki, where do you think we're going next, mate? Where do you think we're going next? So, yeah, Bitcoin came in, I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, particularly, obviously, you can see it quite well on this 1 hour. But on the 4 hour, you know, we've had this zone marked out pretty well, haven't we? Obviously, we had it marked out when price come down here. And yeah, this zone acting obviously as support and then turned resistance. So very, very much still a key piece of SR, this 102k down to around 101.5. Pretty critical. Now, if we have a look, obviously Stonksy got the short in on the 1 hour, which was superb. We also got it translated over into the 5 minute, which is very, very nice indeed. There we go, bang. Thank you very much for that. We'll obviously take a look at altcoins as well, but let's cover Bitcoin. So the question now is, where next? Where are we going next is obviously the big old question. Obviously, on a 4 hour time frame, you can see the importance of this SR zone even more. Obviously, was support again held, and then now we have obviously rejected. We have officially rejected on the 4 hour time frame. Now, there is obviously still some to fill in, not really much. We did come down and fill in a lot of that. Now, I think key piece of SR is down around 93.5k up to 94. I think on a rundown, you could give an argument for maybe there. Obviously, that is not too far away from where we ended up bottoming out, but we didn't actually get a clean retest of this piece of resistance. That was resistance for about a week. But I think, obviously, down to here, and then that would pretty much nearly bring us into the CME gap as well. So my thoughts are, I think we may bleed lower eventually. I was relaxing in a sauna. Oh, very nice, Aaron. Very nice. I don't know if I'd call that relaxing, but there we go. I'm bullish. Price reclaimed the range low. Now we go up. I suppose that depends on where you class as the range low, don't you? I suppose that depends on where you would class as the range low. For me, I've got support drew here, which it looks like price is rejected off. I suppose it just depends on how you draw it, doesn't it, and where you draw it. For me, it's the rejecting because I like to take candle closes as where I like to look. Candle closes. But yeah, definitely if you think price is reclaimed a key level, then yeah, why not be bullish? Good morning, John. Good afternoon, I should say. Great to see you. I'm Wizzo. How we doing, man? I'm good. Had a nice weekend. It was good. Let me just hang on. What have I done? What have I got here? Hang on. There we go. Yeah, so I think, we could potentially see further downside depending on what happens. I think for me, if you are, if you're looking down, I think you've just got, we've definitely got reason to look for a bounce above 102k, in my opinion. Above 102k, and I think there's definitely, reason to look for a bounce. Why wouldn't you? But then to the downside, I think this area here, then obviously we've got the CME gap, and then this area here is obviously what to watch out for. Now, who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen this week? Not really best, in my opinion, to try and front run or second guess like what could happen news event wise or whatever to catalyze things. Just focus on the chart and what the chart is telling you, and of course what Stonksy is saying. Afternoon discipline. I think you have a good opportunity to get out of some positions if you're trapped. Yeah, fascinating. For those of you that missed it, we covered it at the start of the stream. If you have just joined, thank you very much for joining. Make sure you do take a second to go and drop a like. But Strategy has bought a little bit more Bitcoin. Obviously, a small amount by their standards. But, yeah, 26 million. And look at that entry now. Look at that entry, nearly up at 71k. Wild. But, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I think it's pretty easy. For me, I look across there, and that 4 hour, you can easily see where support is on the 4 hour, especially for the candle closes. And then key here, look, we've had the rejection there, the past two 4 hour candles. This was support held. We had another touch here, obviously here. Then we did come in, test it, held above. Again, obviously held here, and then smashed through. And then retest, rejection, and looking, obviously, at the moment, like it's not going to reclaim unless it can push it up. So, yeah, I think for me, that's what I'm looking at anyway. Obviously, Stonksy is red on the 4 hour now, which is, the last one didn't work out as you would expect. So, I think particularly looking at the 1 hour is of interest to me, and the 5 minute. The 1 hour got it absolutely bob on. Pretty much ideal. And then the 5 minute obviously caught it as well. Superb, bang, bang, there we go. So yeah, definitely keeping an eye on what is going on. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. And then I think, yeah, that's the things I'd be looking for up and down. Hey, Nick, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. If you have just joined, make sure you drop a like. If you are watching over on X, make sure you hop over to the channel and subscribe, please. It is massively, massively appreciated. Yeah, we will be taking some trades live on stream today as well. We'll definitely be taking the result of the poll. So whatever you guys think in the poll for US Open, we will take a trade going that way. So obviously, if the majority vote up, we will take a trade to the upside. We'll long it. If you guys think we're going down, I will put a short on, and we'll have that running into US Open and during the time that we are live. And we'll obviously see what happens with that. And then if anything happens, I mean, I don't think we're going to get too much. It may be looking like the market is waiting now, isn't it, for US Open? So nothing too much. Maybe we could get a couple of scalps in, but I'm not too sure on how much movement we'll get now between now and the next hour. So we'll see anyway. We'll see. Yeah, definitely will be taking a trade on US Open. Well, before going into US Open. If you guys want to follow me or take your own trades, obviously that BLOFIN link is pinned in the chat, and it is its first link in the description. Do make sure you check it out. But yeah, I mean, let's run through and have a look at what's happened with now. I don't mean to be the voice of reason, but do we look and see what I drawn out last week? Did everyone see that then when I loaded it up? If you can't, let me just zoom out a little bit. So I can't remember what day we drew this. We drew this, I can't remember. But there you go. Called in real time by yours truly. So I'm guessing we drew this out earlier in the week, last week. Can't remember what day it was. But yeah, there we go. And we came in right into where I was looking. And we have bounced pretty decently so far. So, you know, if you had some bids set in here for wherever, anywhere in that box, you're up 5% now, which is very, very nice. But yeah, there you go. Called in real time. Now, I think, obviously, depending on what happens to Bitcoin, now, this is obviously a big if, but if Bitcoin drops further, I think then looking down towards that kind of 1800 region. Now, depending on where you drew it, obviously you could draw it up here if you wanted to. You could maybe bring it down a little bit. Anywhere in and around there looks fine to me for a potential retest. If Bitcoin obviously tanks another 10% or so. I mean, the issue then is you're really starting to come into down here, aren't you? Now, if we're coming down there, obviously we are then wedged back in this range, which is fine. But it doesn't give like the best outcome, does it? So yeah, there we go. And if you look, I mean, if we had this trading account up and running at the time, if we would have hit a short in here where we planned out for ages and was waiting for this, you know, if you would have got in a short there, that would be fantastic. I mean, that's 20% now on that. So yeah, very nice. Anyway, yeah, Stonksy is red on ETH and obviously traded it down very nicely again. But yeah, we came into this area of interest. We bounced so far. So I think, you know, we're relying on Bitcoin to show strength now. Relying on Bitcoin to show strength. But let me know in the chat what you guys think. Did you trade anything over the weekend? Have you maybe been making the most of the volatility? Have you not traded? Did you have a weekend of touching grass with the nice weather or whatever you did? Let me know in the chat. I'm interested to hear what everyone has been up to. But yeah, that's ETH. I mean, pretty much straightforward from here if we get rid of this now. Let me go back to the 4-hour view. And I think it's pretty easy to have a look. Hang on. Let me get rid of these. So from here, I think we would like to see a reclaim of the range. So for me, that is this grey box. If we reclaim the range, then obviously, you know, we've reclaimed the range low. I would then look, obviously, for a play up towards the range high. To the downside, obviously, now this is primarily depending on what happens to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin comes down and creates some sort of double bottom pattern, then maybe we get another retest of here in there. If ETH breaks through, if Bitcoin breaks through and starts to head towards them low 90k figures that we looked at, you know, 93k, the CME gap is around 91, then I think this area is obviously where ETH will then next trade into. So pretty straightforward. It's obviously just a waiting game because we want to see what happens with Bitcoin. So yeah, at the moment it's kind of just waiting to see what Bitcoin does next. And if we look through, I bet that is the case with the majority of faults. Now, XRP is back down towards its range low, which is in and around this $2 area. I've got it drew at 202, which on the 4-hour has obviously been providing a key bit of resistance here since it dropped through. So to me, that looks like it's kind of around that figure. Now, maybe you've got it drew at $2, maybe a little bit higher than me, whatever. But obviously, this is a huge either reaccumulation or distribution range on XRP. It's one of the two. It's either reaccumulation or distribution. Now, which one of them it is ultimately depends on what happens next. If it regains some strength, then obviously reopens the range, fine. If it starts to carry on to fall off, I think, minimum we'd be looking for this to come and get took out. And then I think, this area here is prime. Because you don't have that long of a distribution or reaccumulation range without getting some sort of seriously volatile move at some point. So for me, I don't see why not back down towards 1.2. You got to remember as well, this has been one asset that has literally not moved during this whole Bitcoin fall off. Yeah, it's traded within 30-40% range, but the majority of alts have ended up retracing like 80-90%, didn't they, of the gains from back in November, December. So I think that's definitely one area to look at potentially. Big sell ahead says BWT. Yes, Jeff, how we doing? David's paid the fee yet today, raw. Raw! I can't wait for Wednesday. Cannot wait for Wednesday's stream when we make Save with Crypto do the raw. It's going to be epic. It's going to be absolutely epic. Sol. Yeah, back down. So what I was looking at for Sol, we was looking at this last week, wasn't we? So obviously this was demand area for Sol. Held, and then fell through. I was looking a little bit lower than where it ended. Seems like it kind of got front run a bit, or maybe just generally bounced from a better area perhaps. But I was looking kind of like 125 downwards in here. Obviously this got a bounce at 126, so a little bit of a front run or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I still think obviously a retest of this area may be valid at some point. Obviously Bitcoin dependent. Again, for Sol, it's pretty straightforward. I think here, you'd still maybe look for a bounce. If it falls through, then it is in big trouble. I'm not going to lie. But to the upside, obviously, we want to reclaim here. Stonksy's got the resistance line drew absolutely perfectly there. And then obviously up to here is where we'd be looking again, where price came into supply. So yeah, again, it's very straightforward by the looks of it. It's just obviously waiting for Bitcoin to do its next move. And look at that. What a trade by Stonksy. Bang into the red background, up at 146 and traded it all the way down. Absolutely nailed. If you are wanting to get Stonksy, then you can get 20% off your first month with code BOT20. That is the second link in the description, and the code is in there as well. And I'll show you exactly what package it is when you come over to the website. Click start now, and it's this one you want, and you do get access to everything on that Discord server, trading bots, indicator, and oscillator. Let's go take a little rattle through, though. We won't stay too much time on all of them. If you do have anything that you want me to take like a deeper look into, let me know in the chat. But we'll just rattle through the list just to see a general overview of what's happened. Here you go. Here's another one. So here's Doge. We were looking back down in this area, wasn't we? There we go. Price came in, hit it, bang, back up, and started to retest this grey area from the underside now. Adder. Not one we look at too often, but yeah, again, another great trade by Stonksy. There, let's have a look on 5 minute. Now, if you switch to the 5 minute, we'll see as well the bounces that Stonksy has caught alongside obviously catching the drop. Chain link back to an interesting area, back down towards the $10 region. AVAX, Siri, I don't know what is showing strength actually. Is there any outliers? Anything showing strength while the rest of the market is showing weakness? Ton. A lot of things are recovering though, aren't they? Like a lot of things have recovered the yesterday sell-off. Obviously, we have been slowly selling off for longer than that, but things are recovering a little bit, depending on obviously what you look at. Hype, not exactly correlated to the market at the moment. I mean, I think we're just keeping that on the list for the memes at the moment, aren't we? That doesn't seem to be doing any sort of recovery. Are they? So you can see the magic of Stonksy on, regardless of what it is that you trade, this 5 minutes time frame, you guys know the double confirmation that we look out for. But yeah, I mean, you can see on the 1 hour, bang, there we go. And the trading bots have been killing it as well. There's a full video coming out. I filmed a video last week on Friday about the trading bots. Render coming close to this area of interest that we've had drew out. Can't remember what when we drew that, but there we go. That's why I like to keep things on the chart, because it looks like we're coming in or got very close anyway to it. Jupiter is right back actually down towards, remarkably, its all-time lows. It's not too far away. It's about 10% away from its all-time lows. Now, this thing went all the way back up to like 60, 70 cents. But yeah, all the way back down there. So, very interesting. Oh, there you go. There's something that's outperforming the market. IMX now, it's not outperforming the market in terms of the wider time frame, but today alone, it's up nearly 6%. So is S. Apart from that, nothing really is doing them numbers. Again, another superb trade there. Let's see what S is doing today. Yeah, it's just a strong recovery in it. Not necessarily outperformance, just a strong recovery today. Stronger than the rest. Aero getting slapped today, minus 5%. Obviously, Aero had that huge mega run up, and look at that on Stonksy there. Ran all the way up. Green closed out around 85 cents. Red opened, and bang, we're already back down towards 75. There we go. That's how it's done. E-Gold. So E-Gold is coming. Is it? Yeah. So it's at the lower end. If we look at E-Gold on the high time frame, it's really like at the lower end. I mean, it created a new low, didn't it, from the April low? But we have these two zones on E-Gold. Now, I think if Bitcoin trades into the low 90s, maybe even into the 80s, I think E-Gold could potentially even come and retest this 2020 impulse. Bang, there we go. Obviously, consolidation, compression, obviously lots of accumulation going on in here, and then bang, there it went. Obviously, this one is where it's been using it as demand for now. But I think there is the potential for E-Gold. Obviously, Stonksy is still short on it as well, from $22 to nearly 50% down. But I think there is the potential for E-Gold to maybe dip into this kind of $9.5 to $7 range, which then is obviously do or die for it, isn't it? So definitely something to keep an eye on, I think, with that. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we're looking like there. Let's check. If you want me to look at anything in more depth, let me know in the chat. Let's take a look at Circle pre-market. So Circle, obviously, IPO'd. Insane. Absolutely insane. I tried to short this on Friday. And as soon as it started going above $230-ish, I just took a small loss on it and kind of got out the way. Again, it's up again pre-market, back up all the way to 250. So yeah, pretty insane price action on that, considering it's literally gone up only. Coinbase, on the other hand, is down pre-market a little bit. Not massively, a couple dollars, but yeah, still above $300. So that's where we're at with them crypto stocks. I think we should probably... Oh, no, yeah, here we go. MSTR is down at 362, so that is down nearly 2%. Nearly 2% pre-market. And this was the zone that I've long awaited at MSTR to come into. So maybe we end up getting it. Who knows? We'll have to see. Will traditional stocks bring Bitcoin price down on market open? What do you think? Well, if there's blood on the streets, yeah, if US market opens and we just start instantly getting big sell-off on the S&P 500, then I would imagine that Bitcoin would follow. Yeah, it typically does. It typically does follow, especially on them really aggressive sell-offs. So, I would be more shocked if the S&P 500 opened and we just started absolutely just tearing it to the downside. Heading. Oh, hang on. Say it opens and it just instant, just aggressive selling. I'd be shocked if we didn't. Just carry on heading back down. But again, this zone of SR is proving to be exactly what it is, SR. So yet to really convincingly hold above $6,000 again. If we take a look at the Mag 7 pre-market, so we've got Nvidia down a little bit. We've got Apple up slightly. We've got Meta up very, very slightly. Microsoft down a little bit. Amazon, pretty much as break even as you can get. Tesla is up a couple of dollars, and Google is around pretty much the same again. Let me go. So what I'm going to do is, because we're now going to do this daily trade based on the poll, I'm going to get the poll in now, so I've got time to open the trade before we obviously get US Open. So let me know in the chat. Obviously, vote on the poll. Do you think we are going up or down on US Open? And then I will take a trade on BLOFIN going in that direction to hold on to, obviously, into the Open and afterwards. So let me know in the chat. You guys, now this is going to be a daily thing. So this is going to be a daily thing. I'll follow the poll on a trade. So you guys obviously go and have your vote, and you choose the direction pretty much. So yeah, go and vote on the poll. 3 votes so far, up 2 against 1. But yeah, any altcoin charts or stock charts or anything, maybe we'll have a look at gold actually, because obviously during this time of uncertainty, gold is obviously one of the other things you really want to pay attention to. But any other, any charts at all you want me to have a look at, let me know in the chat. I'm just getting a quick drink and then we will be back on. Right. Okay, so we can literally look at whatever you guys want. Let me know in the chat, but I'll just carry on in the meantime. No one's saying anything. So 24-hour liquidity, obviously, as you would expect, above the highs. We have got some liquidity awaiting claiming there. Should we go up again? On the 3-day time frame, we have hotspots in and around the 103.5k and 105k region. So obviously right on and above the sell-off zone. So again, on any move to the upside, those could be the magnets for price to be attracted to. Obviously, we'll clear them highs as we could see there. we clear out all these highs. On a weekly time frame, we don't have a hotspot exactly, but obviously you can see again, like the case has been, are in and around the all-time highs where, or just below, is where the big liquidity is. And we have been clearing it out to the downside. If you see here, obviously we took out this hotspot, cleared out these big chunks down as we was descending. So yeah, liquidity, we could go up for a liquidity grab. Doesn't necessarily mean bullish confirmation. It may just be liquidity. So you do kind of want to be careful during this time that you don't get trapped, because obviously if we go and have a look at the weekly now, this isn't to say we are in a trend shift or whatever, but when you look at the weekly chart, obviously what you have to be mindful of is any sort of switch to high time frame trend. Now again, not to say that we are shifting trend or anything, but for where Bitcoin is at and for what it has done, obviously at some point the trend will shift eventually. It's bound to happen. So you do also want to be mindful that you don't get caught in a high time frame trend shift. Now, I don't think we've had any. What will give confirmation of that? We would have to have a lot of things line up, wouldn't we? But I think for now, it's about just being smart in and around the levels where we are. And currently, probably best practice is to take it level to level and follow the Stonksy plan. Or, if you don't feel comfy or confident trading, just follow the bots. Just follow what the bots are doing. And yeah, you don't have to do anything then. You just let the bots do it for you. Hey, the Delta man. The Delta man, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see you. So yeah, for those of you that have just joined, please do drop a like. We are on 11 likes with 19 views. So take a second, please do scroll down, drop a like. If you are watching on X, make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel. Do drop me a subscribe. We are slowly gaining followers still. So please do hop over, drop us a follow. Obviously, there's plenty of content on there. There's so much content to sink your teeth into. There will be another video coming out today or tomorrow as well. So please do check that out. But yeah, we are on 9 votes. So do get your votes in as well in the chat. Let me know if you think we are going up or down on US Open. And then before US Open, we'll call it about 2 o'clock. I'll take the result of the poll and we will go and open a trade on BLOFIN to carry over into US Open and afterwards. So get your votes in there. You can now decide every single day on what direction we take a trade going into US Open. What did you get up to over the weekend, the Delta man? What did you get up to over the weekend? Let me know. Let's take a look at gold, actually. So gold, if we have a look on, say, the daily chart, let's do that. So we are still wedged in here. Now, what I will say with gold is there's a couple things. Obviously, we have clear daily resistance, in and around this kind of 3,450. Ish. You can see around the daily closes, obviously here again, unable to pierce that region, obviously fill this wick into the all-time high. But what you can also notice is, obviously, if you're a patterns person, we do have a rising trend line as well. So this is actually forming what you could label an ascending triangle, which then typically, obviously, the more we get close to finality, you'd be looking for a break above resistance to then lead, obviously, to the breakout. But what I would say with this one is that, we're approaching a place of equilibrium. You know, definitely going into, say, next week, if we are still in and around here, it will start to get really squeezed to a point of it will either do that, or if we obviously fall out the trend line, then it will trade downwards. And we saw that on, I can't remember what it was that had an ascending triangle recently, and it fell to the downside. Obviously, it failed to break upwards and complete that pattern breakout, and it fell to the downside, and it was pretty nasty, to be fair. You should track the poll results and give a Friday update. That's a good idea. Yeah. Gig Friday in Gloucester, then chilled with the crew. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that is a good idea. That my man Jeff. Let me load up a spreadsheet. Hang on. Let me load up a spreadsheet, and we will do just that. Right. Hang on. Right, there we go. So, if I call this daily stream trades, let's make these a bit wide. So, let's have date. Okay. Yeah, there we go. The date. So rock obviously with today, 14th. Hang on. Monday. The 14th. Bloody hell. The 6th. Right. Poll result. So we'll do that. We'll then do what poll result, trade taken. We'll do that, and then what should we do? We'll do like profit / loss. There we go. Yeah, nice idea, Jeff. I like that. I like that a lot. Right, we'll keep that running then as a daily thing. I like that idea a lot. If you have just joined, please do drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribed, and please do vote in the poll, because I will take a trade going into US Open based on the results of that. Obviously, if you're watching over on X, make sure you hop over to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, make sure you're following the Stonksy page. You know, if you've come from TMG's feed, make sure you drop the Stonksy page a follow as well. It is massively appreciated. But yeah, this is what I think, you know, looks the most likely on gold currently, is the finality of this ascending triangle that it's got going on. So see what happens there, yeah. Obviously, big old sell-off on the past hour. That is a big old candle. Currently, oh, we got it's split 50-50. Ooh. Ooh. It's split 50-50. Make sure, please do drop a like as well. If you haven't liked, please do scroll down. Drop a like. We are currently at a 50% like ratio. So please do drop a like, everyone. Don't be stingy with your like button. Oh, we're now. We've flipped to the down now. People voting down. Oh, we're now in the majority. To the downside. How is it 50-50? Time to long. I mean, if it was me that was deciding, I think I would go long as well. To be honest, I think this is prime for squeezing. At least, you would think maybe come and at least clear these highs out here, and obviously maybe go after that wick. Maybe come into the Saturday highs here. Those are the areas I'd be looking at immediately, obviously, just for standard liquidity sweeps, is coming taking out these highs. If there's any real purpose behind the move, covering this wick as well. And then obviously this will be the Saturday highs taken out. That's what I'd be looking at for immediate upside anyway, until whatever else happens. You people in the poll though were being very very interesting though with your pick of downside. How long are you going to leave it open? Like, what's the time frame for the trade open? Well, we can either do two things. Obviously, depending on how well or how aggressive the move is on US Open, maybe we will close it before the end of the stream. So, roughly half an hour after US Open. But I think I'm going to open it half an hour before. So I'll open the trade in 10 minutes. So it'll be open an hour. But depending on the price action, we could leave it open for the following day and just put like a stop loss in or take profit. So say for instance we long, say the poll ends up being long, we could put our stop loss, say 100k or 100,000. Obviously here is a bit interesting because obviously that is the place where you'd be looking for a liquidity sweep. So yeah, maybe put the stop loss at 100k, and then we ride with a take profit of 104k, say, and we just leave it open until tomorrow's stream. And whether it gets hit at stop loss or take profit, we'll do that. The problem is, you bears will get wrecked. The problem is, I'll be honest, I don't want to short this. I don't want to short it. So, yeah, but the thing is, everyone that's actually like speaking in the chat seems like you all want to go long. So who is voting to go down? We've got everyone that's active in the chat basically saying it's gonna go up. We've just got people in the background saying it's gonna go down. I kind of want to long it. I'm not gonna lie. What do you think, people in the chat? Jeff, RN, Loki, Delta. What do you think? Should we just do our own thing and should I just go long regardless of the poll? I'm not feeling short in this here. I'll be honest. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with shorting after a move like that, and then the recovery. I think even if it was going to go further down, I think at least clearing that out, taking people out, getting people excited again, and then like just completely wrecking it like that is maybe something more likely, in my opinion. What do we think? I voted long. Remember, we get to vote on whether or not you keep. I know, yeah. So at the moment, there is only $200 in this account. Now, we need to choose our leverage. Now, let me calculate what is going to go on here. So I think we was going to put our stop loss at 100k, weren't we? Yeah. And then our take profit 104. What do you get? Oh, I mean, that looks good to me. What do we think? Let me know in the chat what you guys want me to do. I voted long. Do your own thing based on your analysis. I'm already long. Well, no. If it was up to me, I would opt to go long into it. But the whole idea was that I would let the vote, the poll, do the decision. But I don't want to short it. even with the poll staying down, I don't want to short it here. Even with this, just like, just streaming fun money that we've got here. I think we could up that a little bit more. Let's do 7. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? So stop loss of 100k, take profit of 104. You have to do what the poll says no matter what. No! Stop! I'm gonna... no, you guys... You guys are criminal. Aha! Anarchy, screw the bears, come on. Oh, we're basically, to be fair, we're not too far away from break even. Evens now. We're not too far away from evens. Hang on. I've got an idea. Wait, hang on. I have an idea. Oh, I didn't know I could do that there. Right, okay. Delta says anarchy. Screw the bears. Go 125x long on mantra with full cannon. No way. That thing just keeps going lower and lower and lower, doesn't it? Save, how have you been, mate? How was your weekend? I'm looking forward to having you on I'm looking forward to having you on Wednesday. I can't wait to hear what you've been up to. These are exactly your trading conditions, mate, aren't they? These are the types of moves that you absolutely love. Now, the question is, have you been a lion waiting to pounce and ready to pounce? Or have you been a naughty boy and not been a lion waiting to pounce? What have you been doing? But these are your types of moves, aren't they? Where, you get a big flush out and then you look to the whole way up anyway. You were longing, wasn't you? These flushes out for big gain as well. Yes, SWC. Yes, the Delta. Yes, the save. Make sure everyone drops a like, please. I've gone long anyway. Now at 50-50. So there you go. My oops. Oh, I accidentally ended the poll at 50-50. So that means that I get to choose which way we go. So I have done what the poll says, to be fair. There's the evidence of it. There's the evidence. So, Jeff, you said I have to do what the poll says. Well, the poll was 50-50 in the end. Because I did say it was going to close at around 2 o'clock. It's now 5-2. So that means that I get the deciding decision. So I've gone long on the account. So there you go. We'll see what happens anyway. Obviously, what I think we'll do is, if we end up with a phase like this, again, where we're just going like this, where we're just going sideways constantly, what I'll do is, with this account, is we will up the leverage to, like, say 30, 40x, and we will just put stop loss and take profit, obviously relevant for a scalp. So then we're still getting, we're not going to be just sat in the trade for days and days and days. Come, the next day, we'll probably be in one position or another. So that's what we'll do. If we do get a lengthy consolidation again at some point, we will just up the leverage and then just make it kind of like, obviously, more applicable for scalping. So there we go. Now what we want to see this background, this red background, shift at least out of red, don't we? But if you do want to trade, obviously do make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. It's the first link in the description. It's also pinned in the chat, and I will put it in the chat again. Weekend was nice. Looking forward to being had on. Mostly being mostly a lion, but dicked around with a smaller account and did it wrong. Not a big though. Well, that's it. That's it. So you've been mostly a lion. Well, that's good enough, isn't it? That's good enough. A lion waiting to pounce. Go, rah! Give us your best roar. Rah! Yeah, I'm looking forward to you having you on Wednesday. Jeff made me do a roar before. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip to the toilet quickly. Oh, look at that. Very nice. I'm just going to nip to the toilet quickly, and then we'll look at to see what economic data we've got coming up. So poll result. So I put 50. I'll put 50-50. So I went long, and then obviously the P&L we will input tomorrow. Should make it nice and fun though, having this system in place. Should be nice and fun. Right, I will just go to the toilet and I'll be back. Right, I'm back. I am back. Here we are. Ready to go again. Let's go and see. First and foremost, what economic data we've got coming up. Jeff, by the way, great idea. I cannot take credit for the spreadsheet. Big up Jeff for saying I should put it in a spreadsheet. So what we'll do is we'll obviously have, like say, Monday, Tuesday, so on. And then we'll just put like a gap in between then. So we can go down and we can have like a weekly thing. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then what we'll do is come the next Monday stream, we'll just put some statistics at the bottom. And then we'll just move on to another week then down below, which will be very, very nice. Yeah, good little system we've got going. And look at that. There we go. We're already $1.51 in profit. Bang. There we go. That's how we do it. Yeah. Wouldn't it be amazing if we ended up growing this account to like... We're currently at $200. If we can end up like 5xing it or something to 1,000, that'd be great. And maybe do like a giveaway or something. Could definitely do something like that. If we can 5x it to like 1,000, could do a giveaway, which would be great. I'll tell you what, on the Friday stream as well, we'll leave the trade that we take on the Friday stream, we'll leave it open for the full weekend as well. Or we'll do something, it'll be good. Or we'll leave it open, obviously, for US Open. And then maybe do another one to say what you think is going to happen over the weekend going into Monday. And then maybe we'll take a trade based on that. So we do actually have some data today. We've got S&P Global Manufacturing and S&P Global Services PMI. Those are coming out in 43 minutes. Then we've got Powell testifying about economic monetary policy on Tuesday and Wednesday. This doesn't mean nothing because this is just a re-estimate. So this one isn't, it says obviously red importance because it's GDP, but it's not because it's just a re-estimate of Q1 data. And then on Friday, we have core PCE and bank stress test results. Interesting. There we go. Yeah, very much look forward to that. I'd be curious how often the poll is wrong. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. Crypto Preet says long. Yes, I am. 100x trade left open over the weekend. Valhalla or wrecked, yeah. Afternoon, Sean. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. Did you see BLOFIN now has inverse perpetual for Bitcoin and ETH? Brilliant news. I didn't know. I haven't seen that, mate. No. Thank you for letting me know. Where would it be? Is this it? Coin M. I'm guessing this is it, innit? Because they've swapped over, haven't they? I noticed when I was transferring some funds around in this account before to put some into the futures account. Obviously, they've swapped over to, like, obviously it not being named futures, USDM. So I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing inverse, isn't it? I imagine anyway, you tell me. But I imagine that this one now, Bitcoin and ETH, you would imagine, yeah, that makes sense to be the inverse ones. Very nice. That's good. I wasn't aware, so thank you for telling me. Yeah, Coin M. Yeah. Would love to see the bot run on that pair. I know that would be fascinating, wouldn't it? That would be interesting. But yeah, we'll cover that. No doubt you'll get a nice juicy one out of that. Save, because you love inverse, don't you? But yeah, let me know what you'd like me to look at before, obviously, while we're waiting to get US Open. You let me know what you'd like me to look at. Infinite Bitcoin glitch. I know, yeah. I do inverse. Inverse is my middle name. I know. Needs to be lion. Oh, actually, it's with. That's true. Middle name needs to be changed to Lion or Raw. Or Lion. Need to be the Lion waiting to pounce. Tell you what, though. Obviously, that weather over the weekend was great, wasn't it? Lovely and sunny and hot. But with it cooling down a bit, it's so much easier to stream now because I'm not just sat here sweating and yeah, just soaked in, caked in sweat. So it makes it a lot easier to sit here and stream. However, please don't take the nice weather away from us. S is really going for it, isn't it? Really pumping up today with a 9.5% gain. Very, very nice. IMX carrying on. Where is Radium? Yeah. Oof, look at that. Can you imagine? If you'd have got the opportunity to short on this candle, obviously this is very quick, but you know, if you would have caught any of this candle at all, even like halfway down, that would have been a great shorting opportunity on Radium, wouldn't it? But a lot of altcoins, I mean, let's just go to the daily chart. I'm interested to see where altcoins are actually at on a daily time frame. I mean, Radium obviously had that great pump up because they released the obviously competitor to Pump Fund, didn't they? And I think they were doing some other stuff like buyback of Radium based on revenue and stuff. But I mean, even that's obviously moving back down slowly towards its March and April lows. And I assume a lot of stuff is. I mean, obviously we'll start with ETH. You know, still a bit of a long way to go for ETH, but you know, started to fill in a lot of this, hasn't it? Sol, again, yeah, not quite back there. You know, it's still a decent 20% or so away, but obviously pretty heavily down from where it put in its local top. Doge, right back testing that area of April time. So everything, I mean, you know, during this time, obviously, you know, depending on where you caught it, but, you know, that's been up 60, 70, 80%, depending on, obviously, if you bought on them bloody days here. But then also, you know, anywhere near the top there, gone up that much, but then come down 37%. Meanwhile, obviously, Bitcoin has only retraced like 10%, hasn't it? Adder, see, all these are. Thing is, something like Adder, it's not really gave the full retrace yet, has it? For its obviously gigapump from Trump getting elected. So that potentially has obviously got, you know, another trip down because it's not even filled in any of this yet. TRX obviously just doing its own thing. Link, another one that's come back to testing. AVAX, another one back testing. April lows. Put this on. Here. There we go. Sui. Yep. You know, these have all had strong pumps up, haven't they? But then retracing all the way down. XLM. Another one. You know, another one much like Adder. And obviously don't even get... XRP hasn't even begun its retrace yet. But, you know, these still have all this to fill in, don't they? Potentially. Adder. XLM, I mean, XRP just hasn't even begun its retrace yet of the pump. Torn, yeah, all coming back to retest the lower levels. Again, this is another one, got a lot to retest. Dot, God, that looks bad, doesn't it? Dot's actually gone below that. Dot has actually gone below its April low and is now, oh my God. That's not a good chart, that, is it? But also, this is really the last area for Dot, in it. Anywhere in here, that looks a bit suspicious. Anywhere in here, you want it to hold and then go up, but I mean, that don't look good, does it? Obviously, Uniswap, still a fair way away. Ondo is below its April lows. Near. Aave, nowhere near. Nowhere near. That run up was so strong. Jupiter is one. That's basically, roundabout there. Arb is another one that's there. Oh, yeah, I mean, look at that. Whoa, look at Tier. There's literally not. I don't know if it's maybe got more history. I assume that it launched on Binance because it's obviously a big coin. I don't know whether it put in its actual launch on Binance or not, or obviously this is just from the Binance chart. But I mean, at the moment, from this chart, this is just going into price discovery to the downside. Radium. Now, OP is obviously one where it's actually now coming in. So we looked at this, and it's now actually coming in to this area here from back in 2022. Now, it's now doing as obviously you'd want it to. It needs to hold here, though. Like I said, skull and crossbones below here. This is last chance saloon for OP at the time. I mean, yeah, some of these are just horrific, aren't they? So honestly, some of these altcoin charts are so bad. And do you know what the scary thing is? I don't know about anyone else, but genuinely, right? You look at some of these and you think Bitcoin is still at 100k. Like, Bitcoin is still at 100k, and you've got ones like OP going back to literally the last chance saloon, like OP, bot, and all that, for levels from years ago. And then that's it. Then they've begun, obviously, just a potential death spiral to the downside of downside price discovery. And Bitcoin has only retraced 10% from its all-time high. This is what it's actually like shocking, the position that altcoins are in at the moment, considering Bitcoin has retraced its 10%. Can you imagine what would happen to some of these charts if Bitcoin dropped to, say, 70k again? Could you actually imagine if Bitcoin dropped to like 80k, 70k, what some of these charts would actually look like? Let me know in the chat what you think some of these charts will look like, because I tell you what, we'd need to move this further down. We need to move it into the minuses. I think it's scary when you look at it. I think it's pretty scary when you look at some of these charts. I mean, look at one for eGold that we were looking at before. So obviously for eGold, we've had these two zones marked out on eGold for basically forever, since it started coming anywhere near into flirting with breaking down. There's one zone here and one zone there. Now, if we flick through, obviously, to recent price action, eGold has used the first zone as support. Come in, filled it in, bang, there you go, bounce. Again, coming in, using it as demand, bounce. But it could very easily also just flip and fall into here, and then maybe go up from there. It could very easily do that as well, given obviously where Bitcoin's at. Now, all this depends on what Bitcoin is going to do. If Bitcoin holds and starts pushing back up, you'd like to think obviously these altcoins would get a push back up. Oh yeah, it is pretty crazy for where Bitcoin's at and the state of some of the charts. Okay, so I think, yeah, we have took a downside dip, haven't we? So we are now minus $3 on the trade. Boo! Imagine if I should have just shorted it. I know you already did, but can you look at OM for a serious trade? Let's see, Jeff. Let's see. When you say a serious trade, what do you mean? Like, do you mean like a trade of... I mean, It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. Okay, so you've got there, and we have this potential bit here. I mean, honestly, right? So from here, it needs to regain. Yeah, so there. So I think, looking at it, right, and bearing in mind, I think this would obviously be nothing but gambling money at this point. You know, you are literally taking a gamble because of the way that it moves. You know, it's not been that long. We're already down another 50%. Oops. But it would be pure gambling money. So I think you know, looking on the daily, you'd want it to close the daily back above this 21 cent region here, where the last time it was around here, obviously it held it all along here, didn't it? Bang, 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 bang. There we go for daily closes. So that is one option. Another option, obviously, is it has a very small, but is an interruption down here, so it could pull into there and then bounce. And then last chance saloon is obviously this 10 cent mark. Now, again, a serious trade. I don't know where you'd be looking for, what exactly you'd be looking for in this, but I think it's literally just gambling money. I wouldn't even put. I wouldn't put anything more than that on it, in my opinion. Obviously, not financial advice, but in my opinion, because it is literally just continuously bleeding. Now, you could just say take whatever, and you could just gamble on it from here if you wanted to. If you're not like really looking at it from a TA perspective and you're thinking, well, it's down at 20 cents. If it's ever going to come back from here, you know, maybe you'll have like a 3, 4, 5x, and that's only back to $1, isn't it? You know, never mind talking about an actual wider recovery. Now, for that, obviously, you know, maybe you could choose like 3x leverage, 2x leverage. If you choose 2x leverage, you give yourself a 50% liquidation range. So obviously, liquidation from here would be around about this 10 cent mark. Liquidation on a 3x trade is 33%. So you would have a liquidation point of about 13.5 cents. But I suppose that depends on what you think is. Now, if you're looking at it from a TA standpoint, I think a reclaim of a daily close above 21.34 then obviously gives it a better picture, and then you can say, right, okay, well, it's reclaimed that. You definitely don't want it to go back below there. You know, you can put your stop anywhere in and around here if you wanted to. Apart from that, maybe you wait for a bit lower, or obviously if you wanted to, maybe just go from here. It's completely, I suppose, depending on what your aim is and what type of trade you're looking to get from it. But yeah, I think it's still quite dangerous. AMD outperforming Nvidia as discussed on Friday. I was working this festival and it was 101 Fahrenheit outside, no wind. I'm wearing my Batman suit. It was awful. Oh, man, that must have been painful. That DJT announces buyback pump in pre-market. Let's take a look. Have I still got DJT? No. Oh yeah, up at just over $18, isn't it? Nearly $19. So it's up, nearly 5% pre-market. Closed my peak on the pump, but that chart now looks horrendous. All of them do. To short it for real or longer, chart looks how the chart is horrendous. But I mean, I wouldn't. The thing is, I think I think even for shorting it though now, unless you obviously you're like a scalper maybe or something, I think even shorting it, if you're looking for bigger moves, I think the juice for trying to short it is nearly gone as well. Because it could bleed down another 50% easy. It could go all the way back down to its actual lows. Who knows? But the risk of shorting it is that it just has one of these crazy wicks. Because obviously there is, if you look at it, there is now you can see there will be built up liquidity and stops all above here. Because if you look all along this downtrend that it's had, the previous daily high has never been swept. So there you go. You can see, right, high put in, next day, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower. Even on that day, lower high wasn't as didn't sweep the previous day. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So all these daily candles have never been swept the peak. So pretty much you could short it. Obviously, this is in hindsight, but to try and explain, obviously, the build-up of stops and liquidity, you could have literally, new day opens, short it, you put your stop above the previous daily high, and you never get stopped out. And, if you look down here, you could have done that for the best part of 9 days now, and you would never have got stopped out yet. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that, at any point, obviously, with overall market strength, it could get a pretty nasty tear up to wipe it out. Again, whether that happens or not is a different story. But I think, even for shorting it, it could go down another 30, 50%. But like Wiz said, there is probably better things to trade. Now, if you've got a little itch to gamble on something, then obviously, you could do that. But I wouldn't put anything more than money that you're really you're happy with losing. Because this thing is either just going to dwindle down and go all the way back to its lows, or maybe it puts some effort at a recovery, whatever that looks like, whether that's trying to get back up here. I can't see it doing anything. Can you actually see it trying to tackle any of this? Can you actually see it trying to tackle any of this? I really don't know. So yeah, that's my 2 pence on it. 2 cents. 2 pence. Oh no, we're going down. God damn it, should have listened to the poll. I just think it's over for it. Unless they've got unless they're just going to pump it completely themselves. And they literally are just letting time-based capitulation happen and just said to themselves, right, we're not going to put any money in for 6 months and we're just going to let people completely capitulate and drive the price down as far as possible. So when we put money in, we're not giving people an exit. We're just buying up, obviously, tokens off market, which is, potentially one thing maybe they're doing. I don't know. I don't really keep up with it. But that's the only thing I could think of. Because, this whole way down, if they was to pump it themselves, they're literally just giving people an exit, aren't they? They're just giving people a pump to sell into. Whereas if you don't give a pump, or you just give small ones, people then either have to hold or they capitulate, which then obviously removes future sellers from the market. One to keep on your radar, Dave, is FI. I will take a look, mate. Yeah. Let's see. This reserve. Okay. Oh yeah, that's had a nice pump pre-market, hasn't it? Come back down into a pretty good region as well, hasn't it? Come back down into a pretty good region. Right. Well, anyone who told me to long, currently it's not going very well, is it? However, we have a better outlook. We have our stop loss and take profit involved. Let's see what happens. Hang on, let's go back. There might be a good time for Wales to push the price down now to feed the fear and buy in a few. Maybe, potentially. I think it depends on what type of day we're going to get in TradFi, to be honest. With what happened over the weekend. Saw it over the weekend and we'll be doing some buying. Ah, very nice. Do a circle run fintech stablecoin platform. Right, okay. Yeah, I'll have a look, mate. Thank you. Got a couple of minutes to go until US Open now. So let's say, obviously, for Bitcoin, we would want strength. We would want strength in the S&P, strength in the stock market to drive a Bitcoin bounce higher. Do make sure you drop a like as well. If you haven't already, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Of course, if you're looking to trade anything, do sign up to BLOFIN. It is pinned in the chat. I'll also throw it in the chat, and it is the first link in the description. It's non-KYC, and you sign up with just an email, and of course you do get yourself some juicy bonuses alongside being able to trade on a great exchange, so do take advantage of that. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is tumbling down. Right. Well, I suppose we've got 44 seconds to go, so we'll see. We obviously had a pump up and then drop back down, haven't we? Pre-market. Leading into the open. Let's see what it's going to give us. And you ready? 3, 2, 1. We are open. The market is open. Well, which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to go? The S&P is taking a big old dump. Big old dump to the downside. On the other hand, Bitcoin is moving up. Moving on up. Moving on up. You're moving on. Time to break free. Go into the downside. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, oh, no, 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 no. Oh! Oh, we are tumbling down. Oh, we are tumbling down. Oh, that was a nasty 1 minute candle then, wasn't it? I mean, the only thing that makes it doesn't even appear that bad is the fact that this is happening at the start of the session after a weekend and obviously after the bombings and stuff. Is that, you know, could this just be early retail price action? Circle actually came back down, didn't it? You know, pre-market it was like at 250, even 260 at one point. So it drifted back down pre-market. When 10k? 10k what? 10k Bitcoin? Is that what you mean, BPN? Gossard Jess, all have a good day, everyone. Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you, Jeff. Have a good one, mate. When 10k Bitcoin? Oh, could you imagine? Thing is, if we got down there, if we got down to 10k, would you actually buy? I know I would. But would you actually? Do you think that you would? Or would you actually mentally just be strong and buy down there? I actually done a long earlier. Very nice, mate. Very nice. I bought some gold. Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah, gold is the one that's staying steady in it. But, you know, as you would imagine it to. Moving on, we're moving on. I think I'm gonna get copyrighted, aren't I? Here, I'm gonna get struck. Haha, never at 10k. I missed buying it at 10k before. So, if it did, you know, in the mad instance that it did go to 10k, would you buy it? Surely you would. Surely you would. I think at that point you have to just decide, don't you, on are you going all in or not? I don't know. I mean, if Bitcoin ever got back to 10k, I think I would know. I would go all in. Now the question is would you have already blew your load into Bitcoin before that? You know, because imagine if Bitcoin got back to 30k, 20k, you would imagine that. Well, I know I would personally anyway. I would be deploying into it there. So if it gets to 10k, I'm probably already down like 50% anyway. So you may as well. If Bitcoin went to 10k, I would sell my wife and son to buy more. How much do you say? I don't want to comment on your son, because obviously that's obviously a serious issue, isn't it? Is you know, like this is selling children, like all that stuff about you know, allegedly people being sold on Wayfair and stuff like that. But how much do you think you would get for your wife, Bobby? We'll leave it as just the wife. How much do you think you would get for your wife? You can buy 5 wives at 110k. Then what, you're buying them 20k a pop? Where are you buying these wives for 20k from? 0.01 Bitcoin. So you'd say, oh, that is a big old recovery on Bitcoin there, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. There we go. So like we mentioned, you know, initial retail panic and selling, and we've popped all the way back up. So you would sell your wife for, I don't get that right, it's 100 quid in it at 10k. It's not even pound actually, it'd be in dollars, wouldn't it? Maybe even less. Or 100 quid. Wow. There you go. There you go. There you go, people. If Bitcoin ever gets to 10k, then you know you can reach out to Bobby and buy his wife for £100. Loki said inside. Raven inside. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I like it. Really nice recovery so far. We've got good viewership. Make sure you have dropped the like. Make sure you subscribed as well. For you people just joined, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like as well. And of course, make sure if you're doing any trading, trade on BLOFIN. The link is pinned in the chat, in the description, and I've just thrown it in the chat again. We currently have a small trade on, decided by the stream itself. We are now taking a stream every single day, depending on the poll. Now, today's poll actually came back 50-50. I'm going to track it in a spreadsheet. It came back 50-50, so I took the decision. Well, it was 50-50 to long. So we obviously are back around break even now. And we've put stop loss and take profit in. So let's see what happens. We will be doing this every single day. So we'll carry the trade over to tomorrow's stream now. I'd feel like I was ripping off whoever bought us. Yeah, nice recovery. Nice recovery. If she's ever watching my stream, then, you know, nice recovery there, Bobby. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you'd struggle to turn. I'd feel like you'd struggle to turn down half a Bitcoin. I feel like you'd struggle to turn down half a Bitcoin. Cryptogenic says smash that like. Yeah, make sure everyone does smash that like button. Let's get the likes going for the Bitcoin reversal on US Open. Go, 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 go. Stonksy, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see you, Stonksy. So our trade, we're back in just a small amount of profit now. So yeah, for those of you that have just joined and maybe wasn't here at the start of the stream or didn't hear me discussing it on, I think I discussed it on Friday. We will be taking a trade every single stream now, depending on the poll that we put into the chat, or if we're going to go up or down on US Open. So what we will do is we will obviously do the poll. I'll open the trade. We'll then put a take profit and stop loss in, and we'll carry the trade over to the next day. So this will now stay open until tomorrow's stream. Obviously, if we hit take profit or stop loss, it will close automatically. If not, we will see where it's at on stream tomorrow, and we'll close it at some point before the poll is done on that day as well. So this will end up closing either automatically, or we'll close it before we open our new trade tomorrow. And then, yeah, we'll do it every single day. And we'll track it on here. So obviously, yeah, today's result actually was 50-50. So I gave myself the executive choice and took a long. And I've put take profit and stop loss in. And we'll see what happens. How was the weekend? Oh, it was great. It was great. It was great. 4 hour close above 102k, then we trade to the inbound. Yeah, 102k is the area that I'm really looking at for it to regain. I want to see a reclaim of 102. It might go back down in the next hour. The volatility is brutal. The thing is, it's standard, isn't it? US market opens after weekend events. Straight away, you get the flush because people panic sell. After a certain amount of time, obviously today it wasn't long at all. Sometimes it can take 15-20 minutes, but after that, obviously money is stepped in and bang, there we go, back to the upside. I'm gonna have to run the toilet again, won't be a sec. Don't go anywhere, I'll be back in just a second. I've drank a lot of liquid on stream today, so I won't be a second. Enjoy the Bitcoin chat in the meantime. Right, I'm back. Oh, that was needed. What have we got going on? Pro streamers use a bottle. No way, mate. Is that where the term streamer comes from? I know, yeah. RN seems to know a lot about that, doesn't it? So, teacher, I'm late. Dog ate my homework. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough, Steve-O. How are you, mate? You okay? Maybe he's gone to the beach for a dump. It's not me, that's Gonksy. Gonksy's the phantom beach pooer. And we are pumping upwards now, aren't we? So the S&P is getting a nice bounce. And that is good for our trade. Oh, we're now $5 up. Oh, get in. Get in. I think over time, we started this. So this account's starting balance is $200. Let me know in the chat what you think it's going to be at in, say, 3 months. Now, some people are going to be cheeky and probably say 0. But if it's at 0, to be fair, it's only your guys' fault because I go off the poll. So I'm not even going to take the blame for it. I'm just doing what they wanted me to. No. So yeah, the starting balance is 200. What do you think it's going to be at in 3 months? Let me know in the chat. Well, I think we could maybe slowly look to build it. I think that'd be quite fun. And then, like I said, if we end up getting a couple of X, if we can get it to like $600, $700, $800, maybe even to $1,000, that'd be great. Then we could do a giveaway. More than happy to do a giveaway. Oh, look at Circle again. Just absolute powerhouse. Not stepping in front of that again. Not yet, anyway. Oh, Bitcoin back above 102k. Back above 102k. We are pumping now. It is getting its dancing shoes on, and we are 4.5% up. Very nice. Is $5 a Big Mac meal? No. No, not even close, I don't think. To be fair, what's it at now? No, even that's not a Big Mac meal. Close. I think it's close, but no, not enough. 0 RN, you're cheeky. If it was my account, it'd be unrealized. I know that. Yeah. How are you doing with that, mate? How is things going with that? Have you shifted? Have you managed to shift it yet, or what? Let me know. Cryptogenic, how are you doing with it? Enough for testing. It is. That is right. Yeah, it is. Bitcoin's still steaming. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna squeeze a lot of shorts in it. Told you, says Loki. I mean, we could see a really aggressive push up here. Look at how aggressive the S&P has pushed back up. And obviously in here we enter that again, that just KSR zone, and it needs to reclaim. I mean, if you look on the daily, the S&P, this is the vital SR zone. That it just can't seem to shift, can it? It just can't seem to, even when it got above here, it was chopping around in and out. Just needs to cleanly stay above and go bang. Go bang. Arc on the 4H equals expansive move incoming. I like your commentary you give us in the chat, Loki. I like it a lot. Let's have a flick through the market, see what's going on. ETH! Bang! Look at that. Up 2.67% today. Outperforming Bitcoin by 1.59%. It's gone bang! Bang-a-rang! XRP pushing back up. Look at that. Pinged right off that 202 level again, hasn't it? Right on that 202 level again. Sol, big push. These are big pushes up on some of these altcoins, aren't they? Since we got that drop on the open. What's this? That's someone at my front door. Hang on, wait there. I think someone's at my front door. Ah, I hope did not took it back with him. Yeah, all good. I'm still holding the main ones, but have started a fresh account, low level, focus on what we discussed. Very nice, mate. I like it. I like that strategy. Well done. Doge. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, all these are getting nice pushes, aren't they? Getting nice pushes up. Is there still too much resistance? I mean, I think if we close like, the 1 hour is obviously a good start. But if we close the 4 hour candle above 102k, that for me is good. So yeah, I think then you start coming into looking at them higher levels up to 103, 104, 105k. It obviously depends on what happens on the 4 hour candle, I think. But obviously the hourly is a start, isn't it? The hourly will be in 10 minutes. That would be a start. Look at that. Oh yeah. We're now officially roundabout. I'd say roundabout a Big Mac meal. Whoever asked, is it enough for a Big Mac meal? I think now it is, yeah. Now, if we get up to here, then that will be round about 3 Big Mac meals. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Pokes him on the Ring doorbell. Packages are under the bush. Happy days. Big Mac with the dips, of course. Can't remember the last time I had a Mackey's. So long ago. You need a big arch meal. Over a 10. Is it? A tenner? A tenner for a Mackey's meal? Even for a large meal, that is expensive. What makes it a tenner? You're joking. What is the world coming to? A tenner for a Mackey's large meal? Wow, that is shocking. That is so bad. But I mean, yeah, these altcoins are getting great pumps. I mean, let's go and have a look, see what the stocks are doing. Nvidia is slightly negative. Apple is up 0.25%. Look at Tesla leading the way again. This is just, look at the volatility on that compared to the rest. Up nearly 5%. Tesla, up nearly 5%. Wow. If you bought on that day, if you bought on that day where it completely shat itself, anywhere, if you managed to get in, on any of them 2 candles, or maybe on the retest or whatever, let's just say conservatively there, obviously, you had 2 hours round about there to buy in this zone. Up nearly 20%, which is great, isn't it? I can't believe someone just said there's a Mackey's meal for a tenner. That is shocking. That is shocking. A 1,000 calories in the burger. We're gonna have to a look at this. See. Let's see. Let's give us a description. A big arch to satisfy big hunger. 2 quarter-pound 100% beef patties, sourced from local farms like Canadian beef in Canada or British/Irish beef in the UK. 3 slices of white processed cheddar cheese, crispy onions and silvered onions, pickles and shredded lettuce, big arch sauce, toasted sesame seed bun. Yeah, the burger, 1,000 calories, you're not wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Medium big arch cost a tenner. So a large one will be around 11 quid. Wow. The cost of living is getting crazy, isn't it? Lol, you think that's bad? Try XL bacon double cheeseburger at Burger King, was £15. It's outrageous, that, isn't it? You know it's bad when things at places that are meant to be the cheapest option are just getting like to the same level that you would expect to pay. Like, you would expect to pay that much. Say you went to like an independent smash burger place. You know, if you walked into an independent smash burger, then you would expect to pay them prices, wouldn't you? Because obviously you'd want it to be obviously freshly cooked, you know, fresh ingredients, stuff like that, and you don't mind paying it at them prices. Well, I don't anyway. You know, if it's an independent place and the food's good, then that's fine. But you know, to pay a tenner, 15 quid for literally just processed, you know, highly preserved, you know, large mass-produced rubbish is crazy, isn't it? I just got 2 new shorts ready to be stopped, though. I mean, looks strong, doesn't it? Since we had that dip on open. The S&P is pushing back up relentlessly. Very nice on that. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that. Ooh, what did I do now? Oh yeah, come on. I want to see this. This better take profit by the time we get on stream tomorrow. Look at it go. It's chugging away, isn't it? It is chugging away. I mean, yeah, I think if we look, we'll record these on. You know, this was kind of the area I was looking at there. Obviously, the wick of yesterday, and then Saturday's high. So I think, you know, for immediate liquidity sourcing, you know, you've got kind of the highs of Sunday, you've got actual Sunday's peak, which turned out to be, you know, a bit of a wick. So obviously, naturally, that would be prime for a liquidity sweep. And then you've got Saturday's high, which comes in at around 104k. And then you've took out, you know, the upside weekend liquidity after obviously running longs hard to the downside over the weekend. So, you know, trying to make sense. I mean, we'll see, won't we? We'll see. Well, now, yeah, we're well and true. I'll tell you what, though, we're still, despite this, we're still not up to a big arch. We still can't buy a big arch, can we? We still can't buy a big arch. Make sure you do drop a like. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't. Let's see. So we're on 20 likes. Oh, big thank you. Thank you, everyone who's liked. Massively appreciated that. If you are watching over on X as well, please do take a second to go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Each and every subscriber helps because we are trying to reach 2,500 subscribers. So it really does help me out on getting to that. Even just one person extra, that's obviously one subscriber closer to 2,500. And yeah, I do like this new game. So currently, I mean, this is, if it carries on as it should, and what I might do is I'll keep an eye out. If we do get, if we get to say 103,500 or something, I may just hop on and close it automatically to lock them profits in, and then obviously we can then go into tomorrow's stream fresh. Like if it gets, into anywhere, because this is obviously what I'm looking at here, the highs of Saturday. If we do get anywhere into like late 103k, like 103.7, 103.8, I might just hop on and close it, and I can show you guys tomorrow then in the order history breakdown, and we can add it onto the spreadsheet. Yeah, it's been a great stream. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it a lot. This, taking a trade based on the poll as well, just makes it a little bit more fun, doesn't it, each day? Because you guys as well, once the stream ends, you guys know where the trade is in from, the take profit and the stop loss points. So you guys will be able to know what's happening, all throughout the afternoon and evening, depending on what Bitcoin's doing, ready to go into the stream tomorrow or the day after. Oh, thanks, Delta. You're too kind, mate. You're too kind. Oh, such a legend, you people, honestly. Such legends coming back every day. Sharing your time with me. I do appreciate it massively. It's an honor to stream for you. But yeah, please do make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, make sure you are signed up to BLOFIN. That's where I'm doing the trading on stream. That's obviously where we are partnered with at Stonksy. It's where we run our bots. Great. And obviously using the link in the description or pinned in the chat, you get yourself some great welcome bonuses, and it's non-KYC. But apart from that, we are obviously still running the 20% off Stonksy as well. Second link in the description. You'll see it on here as well, code BOT20. So for you people on X, if you come over to stonksy.io, or the website is in the X bio, and it's this one that you want here, you do get access to the indicator, the oscillator, the Discord server, and the trading bot. So obviously, if you don't have much time on your hands, joining the plan means that you get access to the trading bot, trade on your behalf, and the new strategies are hitting great. I think they hit another. I haven't checked them. I didn't check the chart much over the weekend, but I think they hit some more trades over the weekend. But I did film a video on Friday about the bot. That'll be out on the channel today or tomorrow. But yeah, still can grab you 20% off. Hims and hers down 27% today. Oof. That was obviously one that we covered, weren't it, on stream with Wiz on Friday. But yeah, let's see where we're at before we go off stream. So currently the trade is at nearly $11 unrealized P&L, and we've got our stop loss and take profit in. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out on it. If we do get close to the take profit, I'll probably just come and close it manually, and then we'll put it into the spreadsheet then. But yeah, we'll see what we've got coming into tomorrow's stream, and obviously if the trade is still open or if it's been closed. But yeah, thank you for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, until tomorrow, enjoy yourselves and keep grafting. And of course, for you cool people that are in Stonksy already, I'll see you in the Discord. If you're not, you know what to do. Grab your 20% off and come and join us. But yeah, bye for now. Catch you all later. Bye bye.